It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
And good afternoon, guys. 2:15 p.m. CET. So good afternoon from Europe. Piotr here. Is my pleasure again to be with you, especially after the morning meeting. So actually since yesterday we are doing quite well with two last fantastic setups in gold and in cable. And we are awaiting US CPI this time. Before we start risk warning as usual, guys. Please bear in mind trading effects on margin carries a high level of risk may not be suitable for investors. You can sustain a loss of some or all initial investments, so please do not invest the money you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. And that's the key. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Not many viewers during the UK CPI. Unfortunately, it was quite good. I've been following since yesterday the long setup on gold, and based on what we discussed exactly, right? I've been partially done and been long during our morning meeting. I explain where is my target, right? One more time, guys. So the first, it was about the setup we discussed yesterday, right? So finally yesterday we got that stop count below Monday low, right? This combination was a little bit wide, so my stop and entry wasn't that great, but that's what we discussed. Then because of the size of the moves, right, as you can see here, that was the remaining that was the target for my remaining half. So that was really, it was like we described to the point yesterday gold, right? So congratulations to anyone. Doesn't matter if that was the paper trading or whatever you did, as long as you were following and what we discussed. That's the key point. And during the UK CPI, we also discussed the pound, right? I'm holding short remaining half on the pound, and we discussed if we are going to get the upper shadow at the top, at the top of the hour, right? I'm gonna be trading this upper shadow, right? Plus, I'm gonna be ready to add on the rally towards yellow supply zone. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get there, right? On this move to the downside. Ahead of the open, not at the very bottom, a little bit higher, I cut half, and the remaining is waiting for the US CPI. So we started yesterday with long cable. I grabbed few green pips, then been stop out on Euro pound, then fantastic setup on the gold, even better setup on the cable here. I've been thinking that we are going to hit the upper box as a top of the consolidation, but looks like pound is a little bit weaker, so we might see attempt to break yesterday low, and that may open the way towards the weekly open and the Monday low. So that's what I'm waiting for. Of course, to the upside, as of now it might easily turn after the US data, but I'm at least safe, right? Getting closer to the announcement, I may lower the stop for this remaining half on the cable. Unfortunately, not everything is that great. Of course, all of us heard about the situation in Hong Kong. Hopefully it's gonna be solved in a peaceful way. That's what we should keep our fingers crossed for. We had a Trump yesterday. Didn't hurt dollar. Actually didn't hurt the stocks as well, but why we saw the sell-off on the stocks at some point yesterday, it was the information from the China that actually trying to simplify, it was like the President Trump is not saying the whole truth, right? Anyway, the Tokyo session, the US indices survived a bit, but this morning when the new information from Hong Kong came out, we have a little bit of the pullback, and I'm watching this S&P. It looks extremely interesting from for me as usual from the short side, but that might be for later as we hit possible intraday demand. All right, and market is bouncing to the upside. I think we might even try to close the gap, and I'm not gonna be surprised if we are going to see levels close to 3095. That's where I might to try to short, but only after US cash open. Don't forget, guys, that today Powell is going to testify later today. So during the US CPI data announcement, going to try to take the advantage of the data and short-term moves, but also we'll try to figure it out what kind of the action we might see during the Powell. So before we leave after the US CPI data announcement, I'm going to try to prepare with you the plan, at least for euro dollar, maybe for cable as well. Depends on because if I'm going to be the short, it's gonna be in case of eventually in case of addition. So that's how I see the things here. The weaker CPI out of the UK, supported by the core CPI. So the pound is bouncing on the crossroads right now. So looks like the key and some kind of the volatility we might get from the US CPI and then from the Powell speech. Fed Chair Powell testifies. Anyway, market expectations on the monthly basis, it's 0.3 versus 0 previously, and the core CPI 0.2 versus 0.1 previously. So if we are going to get what market is expecting, well, that might add into the dollar support, right? Unfortunately, if you remember, if you haven't watched morning meeting, just go to the archive section, click reply, and watch, especially towards the end, where I've talked about my setup on euro dollar. And unfortunately, I've been looking for this type of the move, right? The only thing is that I mentioned that I would like to see this type of the combination, well, one level higher around the weekly open, blue dotted line, right? So I've been filled on cable. Unfortunately, I haven't been filled here on the euro dollar, but well, there is a possibility we are going to see some kind of the manipulation towards the Powell testifying, and because we also have at the same time we are going to approach London fix, so that might be very, very interesting from that manipulation perspective. Of course, when I saw yesterday sell off on the US indices, I skipped the idea about long dollar yen, right? Looks like we broke below Monday low, so we were trying to hold twice at the very beginning of the Tokyo session today, right? At the very beginning of the European session, but now before we start our meeting, looks like market decided to make the breakdown through the Monday low. The thing is here on the dollar yen, from this early chart perspective, there is a still possibility that market may want to trade out this over under based on what we have here, right? So well, that might be the case here. Breaking below will open 108.60, okay, and going through this 108.60.50 over here, well, bulls might be in trouble. 108.30, 108.25 as the next one, and finally the levels close to 108.05, 107.90, right? So that's the stages, that's the levels for the dollar yen. But you know what? It depends. Maybe the different yen crosses are gonna to be much more interesting. Depends, because if we are going to see continuation of the breakdowns here of dollar yen, but overall dollar is gonna be stable versus cable versus pound or versus euro, then euro JPY or pound yen, that might be the solution eventually. But for now, we are going to focus on three charts. We are going to focus on euro dollar, focus on cable, and of course dollar yen. So that's the three charts for this CPI reading for us. Well, we'll see. Still, we have like 2.5 minutes. Guys, don't forget, please do your own research. Because of the YouTube rules, it's not because of me, it's because of the YouTube rules. There is a little bit of the delay, so my voice, you get my voice a little bit later. I will try to input the data into the chat, but please check on your side as well, right? So what I'm gonna do, because of those two upper shadows, because of this supply, I'm going to secure on the remaining half on the cable. I'm going to secure another 6 pips. Sorry, I'm going to secure 5. But that's the remaining half. We will see, because still there is a possibility to see spike higher towards 28.70. On euro dollar, weekly open, that's where my interest is right now. And the dollar yen, well, you know, if the data is gonna be positive, right, we might see the spike, which, you know, it might, we already, probably we already there is a possibility we switch to sell Rileys, right? So in case of the selling dollar, for now, only dollar yen. The rest looks like dollar is doing quite well. So again, as usual, I'm not gonna chase the prices, as you know. Let's try to find some good setup, and let's try to make this pure trade the news, and let's try to grab few additional pips, right? Once dust is settled, we'll try to switch to higher time frames. And we'll check what is going on. For now, just the related to the news. Three, two, one, and let's have a look what we have. Dollar yen a little bit higher, trying to go back above the Monday low. Euro is testing again, psychological 110 level, and cable is stable. Cable is stable. Well, whoa, it's higher than what market was expecting, guys. It's 0.4 versus 0.3 expectations. Well, look, that's what I've mentioned. The dollar yen might be selling Rileys. Its market is trying to fade. Market is trying to fade that move. X food and energy year to year 2.3, expectations 2.4. So quite opposite to what we get from the pound perspective. There was CPI weaker, supported by the core. Here is a little bit opposite. A little bit weaker on the core side, supported by the number. So, well, dollar yen, as discussed, reacted on the Monday low, but not chasing here yet. Pre-data consolidation, failure at the top, move lower, retest. That could be our solution. Well, we'll see. Still trying to hold the bottom on the dollar yen. So this over-under still could be in play. But if I'm going to decide for dollar long side, it's gonna be either addition into the cable or fresh short on the euro dollar. That's 110, that's what they are trying to hold. But muted reaction, to be honest with you. No fireworks, at least no fireworks for now. So let's switch to the higher time frame, a little bit higher time frame. Let's have a look where we are. So I would like to see on the cable, I would like to see a little bit of the faster move to the downside, breaking today's low around 28.20. That would open 28.0528, and again 27.90 weekly open and 27.80 Monday low, right? Just a reminder, I'm short cable. That's the remaining half after our morning meeting after the UK CPI with full explanation. I took the advantage of what happened after our meeting. As everything is recorded and is inside the archive section, is easily could be easy way to check. There are few options in relation to tomorrow trading day. It's going to be all about the situation after Trump testifies later today. We have Australian job market during the Tokyo session, as well as plenty of Chinese data. And if it's going to be busy later today, cannot rule it out. We will do night stream, right? But more likely, we will do European stream with retail sales out of the UK and German preliminary GDP. So don't forget, guys, to subscribe. If it's going to be like last minute schedule, you are going to be informed. Well, so we are post US CPI data. Euro dollar moved whole 6 pips. Cable whole 8 pips. A little bit more activity probably here, 10 pips on the dollar yen. And that was the important US CPI data. Holy maloney! Amazing. How the market is trying to kill the volatility. Waiting for this breakdown on the dollar yen and eventually retest. So we can try to get back in regards to the charts to the basic setup, and we can change few charts. So instead of the euro pound, we are going to switch to euro JPY, and we are going to switch to pound yen eventually. I'm sorry for this noise, guys, but looks like someone decided to cut the grass outside. Sorry. And yesterday I was quite bullish on the pound yen, guys, but with this break of 39.80 doesn't look great. Still we can hold over under on the pound yen. What I'm talking about is this level over here. But with this situation we are facing right now, especially in Hong Kong, and with the Chinese response to the yesterday Trump speech, I would be careful with risk on. Alright, so we have a breakdown on the dollar yen. So the drill is right now. So what's the drill right now? 50% of that consolidation. The only concern I have is that it was already done. Well, we'll see. So that's the 85, the high is 91, so there is a chance for something like 5-6 pips stop, right? We'll see. But in that case, the remaining half of the cable might be under pressure. I'm waiting for the euro dollar, but looks like euro JPY might be a little bit better solution for now. Let's have a look what we have, where we are going to. That's the first possibility. The second possibility, the second yellow, looks better because it's closer to the blue line, and blue line is related to the weekly chart, right? But based on the equal moves to the downside, probably the first one gonna be the target. Let's prepare some plan. Yeah, the first one gonna be the target based on the equal moves. So how can we eventually join the party? On the retest of 119.95, 120.05. Okay, for now that's the 20 pips only, so it's still possible. It's doable for them to push a little bit higher, and that would be the level for me. So more or less retest of this yellow zone as well as the weekly blue line. All right, so that's how it looks on the euro JPY. Sorry. From the gold perspective, I'm looking to renew. Not sure if we are going to make the same in size correction. That was the late New York, so it's very possible. I would like to see, because look, they are testing the bottom of this channel again, right? Same what we've seen before. What we can do, no, we cannot. So yeah, the move back inside or above the rising trend line, that might produce another rally. We've been talking that it's possible that 1500, 1495, 1500. But here I would rather wait for the US cash open for the initial rally. I think we might see attempt to closing the gap, right? Unless we are going to start with runaway gap. But I'm going to be patient with the gold. All right, looks like on the cable they're going through those upper shadows here. So the top of that 44, 50, I'm going to take the rest at 9. So going back to our morning meeting, there was two possibilities to open the short on cable. I grabbed at the first possible scenario with this upper shadow on the hourly, but still the yellow box at the top, that's the possible intraday supply zone. So because they traded out the first scenario with the upper shadow, so right now I'm going to watch and see what's going to happen during the retest of this yellow possible intraday supply. All right. You know, market may want to look for some dollar profit taking ahead of the Powell, or just simply manipulate to try to clean the weakest stops, the weakest hands, and then speed it up in favor of the dollar around or during the Powell testifies, right? In relation to crude, looks like we are ranging, but guys, because we had bank holiday in US last Monday, don't forget that official EEA data is going to be released tomorrow, half an hour later than usual, right? 5 p.m. CET. So from the oil perspective, I would like to see rally back towards the top of this consolidation, towards 57.40, and that depends on the price action over there. That could be some kind of the possibility to enter the short side. On the other hand, in case of the upside break, it might be that market may want to try to double that consolidation to the upside, and as you can see, the green zone, meaning that the possible supply based on the daily chart gonna be in play, right? So I'm gonna be prepared. I'm gonna to watch very carefully top of that current consolidation. In case I'm gonna to switch to lower time frame, I'm going to see the price action in favor of sellers. I may try to join the party, but I do understand my risk. I do understand that market may, just make the small pullback, reverse, go higher. And in that case, I will give another chance to the short side around 58.65, 58.80. Based on my chart, guys, here. Again, reminder in regards to tomorrow trading days. There are a few possibilities. All depends where we are going to be towards the end of the day today. So don't forget subscribe to the channel and you are going to be notified, right? There is even possibility that we are going to have stream during the Tokyo session. Cannot be ruled out, guys, because looks like it might be busy busy night for me because I'm based in Europe. So of course, if you are going to have the subscribe button done, if you are subscribed to the channel, then you are gonna be notified and maybe you wanna join, right? Most likely is going to be European live market coverage with UK retail sales. The guys outside cannot give up. Looks like plenty of grass to cut. So sorry about that noise. Hi Abdul, how you doing? Pound yen, you know what? Because of the attempt to break lower on the euro pound, because of the, looks like pound is a little bit stronger than euro, right? So if I want to, as long as we are with dollar yen, we are below 109, right? And I want to choose between euro JPY, pound JPY. For now, I do prefer euro JPY. Pound JPY, that might be this very, very wide consolidation, right? And we are in the middle of that consolidation. So everything can happen here. So to be honest with you, probably I would skip that one. Or but I'm currently, I have nothing. I'm waiting for the setup. So euro JPY, I'm waiting for a move back towards 1995, 2005. I'm gonna to look for the bearish price action around this level. So I just closed the cable. I've been short cable, but it was the setup we discussed this morning. So I'm waiting for euro JPY. Also watching dollar JPY around 109, 108.95. We'll see. There is no reason to try to chase the market right here, right now. Especially, as I mentioned, I do expect, that's the S&P, there might be attempt to close the gap around the US cash open, right? So no reason to try to chase the market, no reason to try to selling right here, right now. That's how I see the things. But you know, each of us is different. Please do your own research as well. Don't forget that there is a Powell later today. Within the next 2 hours, we've got the Powell. So we might see the 180 degrees turnaround. So be careful. Don't be trapped, guys. You are more than welcome. Thank you, Abdul. That's what we're trying to do. We all trying to learn. You know, to be honest with you, I've got my lesson almost every day. I learned something new. Even I'm watching those charts for almost 20 years already. There's always something new. Looks like dollar JPY don't wanna jump higher. but it's still early, so no rush. Abdul, believe me, I know what you are talking about. I do remember my first 5 years, first 4 years. I do remember. And yeah. But that's what I'm discussing very often in relation to the exposure, right? Some of you often complaining that it's so low exposure, but you know, I'm risking in between 0.1 to 0.25, not 1, not 2, not 5%, 0.1 to 0.25. And it took me some time to understand that the lower the exposure, the better I'm doing. So looks like for the next half an hour to US cash open, it's gonna be, looks like the market is in a slow motion mode, and probably it's gonna be like this, yeah, for the next 35 minutes. So let's try to summarize. But guys, it's again, don't get it as a signals because situation may change. What I'm gonna to look for during the Powell, right? I'm going to look for euro dollar, and I'm going to look for test of this blue dotted line. And the blue dotted line usually means, always on my chart, means there is a weekly open, right? So I thought earlier today, then when we were jumping higher, that's gonna be that move, right? No, it didn't happen, didn't hit weekly open, so I'm still waiting. I want to see what's going to happen here. There is one more level in relation to the euro dollar I'm gonna watch carefully in case of the attempt to break higher, because right now we have this type of the channel, or we can try to draw this channel like this, more or less, right? So we have this type of the channel, and the weekly open, ideally that's gonna be third touch here and continuation to the downside. But I do understand that because of the Powell, there is a possibility the market might be manipulated higher, and I would like to see the failure somewhere around Monday high or a little bit higher, combination of this Thursday breakdown, right? Somewhere here. Okay, so I do understand the risk here. So going to watch, in case of the spike, going to watch weekly open and eventually levels towards 1065, 1075. Okay, especially that if we are going to double that channel or even triple that one, that could be the case, right? So that's about euro dollar. Of course, if your bias is to the upside, so you wanna see some kind of the manipulation to the downside, like cleaning those lows, today's low, yesterday low, cleaning those lows, hitting the stops with quick reversal. That could be long setup, right? But the bounces on euro are weaker and weaker, so I can't see the possibility for big move to the upside on euro dollar, so be careful. Of course, if Powell is going to say that he's going to go negative, then we will see the dollar weakness. But what is important, it's not gonna be reflected in today's trades. Probably it's not gonna be reflected in the near future. But yesterday, during the Trump speech, he mentioned about the possibility to cut the taxes for middle class to 15%. Okay? If that's going to happen at some point, taking into the consideration the ballooning current debt, well, that might have huge influence on the dollar later on. That of course, it could be treated for now as an election campaign, but let's say President Trump is gonna be elected, so next November, right, could be interesting. But it's worth to remember about that. So that's about euro dollar. In relation to the dollar yen, waiting for this move back towards 108.95, 109 maybe, right? 108.85, 109, but right now I'm focusing on this consolidation and 50% of that consolidation. We will see what's going to happen here. I would like to go lower with them towards 108.60, right? At least, if not lower. We have the stages, we already, that's our levels. Yellow, 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 right? So we will see. Euro JPY, retest of 120 bearish price action. Cable, failure around 2870, 2875. And indices, failure around I'm trying to close the gap, failure around that levels, right? And oil, but oil probably tomorrow. So that's what I'm gonna to watch. Majors, 3 majors, euro, dollar, cable, dollar yen, plus euro JPY. I'm going to watch S&P 500 and gold, and that's what I'm gonna to focus on during the Powell speech. And because we are not gonna be together, I would say that the best way to test the things we're discussing right here, right now, is to do paper trading, right? Grab the piece of paper, grab the pen, and make the paper trading. And then during our tomorrow meeting, we are going to have a possibility to discuss the outcome, right? Again, I'm not waiting with the orders. I want to see some kind of the price action, especially because of the risk event we have within the next 2 hours. Powell, right? Alright folks, that's it from my side. No fireworks post US CPI. Don't forget, within the next 2 hours, Powell, and that might change situation. The whole market may turn around by 180 degrees. Please subscribe to the channel. You are going to be informed about our next meeting. There is a possibility there is a possibility that we will do Tokyo session today live. But that depends on the outcome. That depends where we are going to be towards the end of the day. Rather, we are going to cover UK retail sales tomorrow. Yes, there is the news today, Abdul. There is a Mr. Powell testify. So all market eyes are gonna be on Powell. So it was my pleasure, guys. Again, be careful, don't be trapped, and see you tomorrow. Have a great one, guys. Thank you and take care. Goodbye.